Hello, it's Bill, the Knee Pain Guru. Welcome to Thursday, January 30th, 2020. Today we're going to talk about how leg strength makes knee pain worse. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up, like and subscribe to my channel, as well as turn on notifications for future videos. If you have questions, please enter those in the live chat over on the side, as I will be addressing those questions here shortly after this short presentation, as well as if you're watching the replay, I use what's input into those questions for future topics to address certain topics. So questions that come in through email and YouTube and Facebook and all of that go in and compile content that I share here, because it's about dispelling misconceptions and misunderstandings about why you aren't getting rid of knee pain. So now for today's topic, how leg strength makes knee pain worse. So let's envision a scenario. You're playing sports. You went running. You went hiking. You twist your knee. Your knee hurts now. Everywhere you move, your knee's bugging you. Now you go to the doctor. The doctor checks your knee out, says, oh, there's nothing wrong. Why don't you go to physical therapy and that should take care of you. So you go to physical therapy. Your knee still hurts. The physical therapist is putting you through leg extensions, leg curls, leg raises, calf raises. The more you're pushing through, the more your knee hurts. It's leaving your knee in pain for days or weeks afterwards. And I tell you, it's going to take time. You got to strengthen your legs. You got to strengthen your legs to get out of the pain. But the more you go to physical therapy, the more you try to exercise, the more you try to push your leg, the more it hurts. Here's a question. Here's a question for you to think about. At what point in time did the leg get weak? When you first injured it? Did it suddenly get weak? Did it suddenly get weak when you went to the doctor? Did it get weak as you were going through physical therapy and you're strengthening your legs? At what point in time did the leg suddenly get weak? Here's a secret. It didn't. I've worked with professional Olympic level athletes that can squat 300 and 400 pounds, that can do leg extensions and leg curls with the entire stack of plates at the gym. And they still have pain. So where is the leg weakness taking place? In order to understand the solution for what's going on with knee pain, we have to flip the conversation. We have to understand the neurology of what's going on in the body whenever pain enters into the equation. When the body feels pain, what happens? The body tenses up to protect itself. The knee, the leg, the hips, the lower back tenses up to protect you from experiencing the pain. So what happens? Something gets really tight really quick. From a physical therapy, from a medical perspective, they're looking at and saying, well, whatever's weak needs to be strengthened in order to balance out what just got tight. Their intentions are good. They want to bring balance to the joint. And in that case, we both agree we need balance in the joint. However, what I don't agree with, and this is where continuing to strengthen the legs continues to perpetuate the dysfunctional tension pattern your body took on when it was first injured. So going back to flipping the conversation, flipping the script on what's going on, When your knee is balanced and you don't have pain and you injured yourself, part of the body tensed up. So you're going to physical therapy. They're wanting you to strengthen this so there's balance. And what I'm looking at through the neurology, through the nervous system, is we don't strengthen this, we relax this. So when you do exercise, when you do begin physical activity again, you're exercising from a place of balance and no pain. Or at least we're going to minimize the pain as much as possible. But we have to change the neurological signaling that's going on in the nervous system. The more you strengthen your leg from a place of imbalance, the more you create a further imbalance. That's what I've seen with professional Olympic level athletes. I see that with great grandmothers that are suffering with osteoarthritis. I'm looking at it with people that have had arthroscopic surgery, ACL reconstruction like I had, chondromalacia, whatever the diagnosis is. We're looking at an imbalance that's going on in the neurology that's strengthening the body from that point where it's leaving you in pain for days or weeks afterwards is just further perpetuating the dysfunctional pattern that you're trying to get out of. So, what's the key? How do we change the neurology? Through comfort, through relaxation, through relief by getting the pressure off of the tiny little nerves the width of an eyelash. When we begin to get the pressure off of those nerves, what happens? The joint relaxes, it lets go, there's relief, it changes the neurological state, and now there gives the opportunity for the body to begin to recover because it's not constantly under that pressure of the pain. Okay, we have some questions that are coming in from D. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up, like and subscribe to my channel. Turn on notifications for future videos. Forward this email to someone you know that has been pushing through the pain, either going to physical therapy or exercise, and get this in front of them because it's important they know this. There's a lot of people suffering. There's a lot of people that are struggling. They're exhausted. They're frustrated because they've been doing everything to get out of pain. Yet, they still find themselves in pain. You got to flip the script. You got to look at it through the opposite end of the spectrum. Okay, what do we got here? D says, I've had pain and locking for over a year. Yes, my leg hurts more when I try to strengthen it. How do you relax a trigger point? Please help me fix it. Okay, so for those that are looking for a solution, head over to my website, thekneepainguru.com. If you're seeing this information for the first time, like straight off the internet, straight off of YouTube, get on my newsletter list. I got some good information that'll begin to help you change the mentality because it's everything that I talk about, my entire approach, is a very different mental approach than what you've been used to. So we need to begin to change that perspective you have that you need to push through the pain, no gain, pain is weakness leaving the body, just do it, all of that mentality. So we need to change it in a different way, looking to comfort. So it does take some time. So it's important hearing my message several times, get on my newsletter list, begin to hear that and understand that, have it resonate with you. If you are on my list, which I send this information out to my list as well, and you're like, okay, Bill, I've been hearing your information. What should I do? Well, get into one of my programs. Either the ebook video series you're working on your own, or begin to work with me in my Knee Club on-ramp. We work for 2 weeks with the entirety of my program in a private coaching setting where we get you definite results. At the end of that time, you choose what you want to do. You want more support, you're good. Either way, fine with me. If you're in one of my programs and you find yourself stuck, then you need more support. Get into one of my private or group coaching programs. In that case, all of that information is available. If you can't find it, email me. Send me a message on YouTube, post it in here, or through email, through the website. Okay, so D, depending on where you're at in that process, you have your next step. Okay, T, Rose Lover, but you don't want your legs to atrophy. Yes, you don't want your legs to atrophy. That's important. However, you also don't want to perpetuate the neurological cycle that's keeping your legs stuck there. You have to begin getting them comfortable so you can move easier. It's a process. And what I see too many people doing is like pushing through the pain. They're concerned about the atrophy. They're concerned about getting themselves out of pain, and they get into themselves into this frantic state, which perpetuates the cycle they're trying to get out of. So we could begin teaching the body how to get the pressure off of the nerves, change the neurological signaling, get the knee more comfortable so you get better sleep. You get better sleep, the body's going to recover faster. You'll be able to move easier the next day because your body is recovering faster. But if you're pushing yourself in this space where all you see is like, I need to strengthen the legs, you're going to be stuck there. And what ends up happening is it creates a situation for arthritis to set in. What is the diagnosis of all arthritis? Dehydrated joint. Why does the joint dehydrate? Because the joint squeezes so tight, it squeezes out the synovial fluid in the joint. The joint gets dehydrated, it gets achier, it gets more difficult to move, which means the tighter it gets, the slower it is to recover. The joint begins to wear, which perpetuates the cycle. We need to get the pressure off of the nerves to change the neurological signaling so you could begin to move the joint easier. So now the water that you are drinking can get into the joint and lubricate the joint. We want to work smarter, not harder, in getting your knee out of pain. You don't want to go into the old mentality of what doesn't work and continue to perpetuate that. See, right here, T Rose Lover, I want to go for walks, but need to get through the pain while I'm walking. Exactly. What if you had specific, what I refer to as pain pattern interrupts, to do before, during, and after your walk that changes the neurological signaling, gives your knee the experience of relief, so now the walks aren't so painful? What if you had pain pattern interrupts to do before and after you go to physical therapy, so your knee recovers faster after physical therapy? It would be a little bit nicer going through that process. I've had clients that actually have to take pain medication just to get through physical therapy. Understand this, your body in that heightened neurological state of pain does not heal. That whole healing process slows down when you're in such a level of pain. And in order to get yourself past that place, you have to begin to learn to understand how to change the neurological signaling, create comfort in your knee so it begins to get easier to move. Okay. D, it's my entire leg. I've had dry needling, physical therapy, chiropractic therapy, and wave therapy. I work out, I foam roll, I do ice, I do heat, and it all hurts. And that's the story I hear from most people with chronic pain. They've tried everything. They haven't tried comfort. They haven't learned how to create space in the joint. Engage the body's neurological, the reflexes. Like when the doctor taps your knee with the hammer and your knee jumps. You can't control that. When your body is placed in a position of comfort, your body relaxes. You can't control that either. So you begin working with the knee joint, the calves, the quads, the shins, the hamstrings, the feet, the hips, the lower back. And you begin to change that pattern that's going on. I personally found strengthening the hips in a pain-free manner helps to create an environment that reduces stress on my knees. That may be the case, Mr. Beakers. However, understand that it's also up in the ante. The more you strengthen a pattern where there's pain, you begin to up the ante. T. Rose Lover, thank you. You make sense. I went to aquatic therapy and my knee still hurt. Yep. You're welcome. Yeah, it's important to get a different result. In order to change the conversation, we have to look at the body as a system. Your body's a system of pulleys and levers. The water that you eat, the water that you drink, the food that you eat, the thoughts that you think, the emotions that you experience, the stress that you go through, the pain that your body feels, how you move, how you exercise, your personal life, it all plays a role in the system that spits out whether you experience pain or not. And when we in order to get to a place of the system spitting out comfort, less stress, no pain, we have to look through the process of what is going into our system, our physical body, with all of our senses, that is giving us the result that we either want or we don't want. Changing the neurological signaling is a huge component. They talk about that in personal growth in all areas. If you want business to improve, you have to surround yourself with people who are successful in business. They do it in AA. You can't surround yourself with the same people that you became an alcoholic with. You have to surround yourself with different people. You can't keep showing up at the bar and expecting your will and your resolve to still continue when you still have those same pitfalls. We need to change the conversation. We need to look at what's going on in your belief systems about the body beginning to heal, in the neurological signaling that's going on, the tension patterns that have been created for weeks, months, years, sometimes even decades in your body and in your life. We have to look at the water that you're drinking or the liquids that you're drinking, because it's not always water. Food that you eat, stretching, mobility, exercise, all of it goes into this equation as to, are you getting the results that you're wanting? And awareness plays a key role in the process. What you're aware of is important, and becoming aware of the things you currently aren't aware of is the gap that we need to fill. So frustrating. What's frustrating, D? You're welcome, Mr. Beakers. Non-dairy helps me. Omega-3, no Cokes. Yes, Mr. Beakers. Yeah, I did. That's how I got into this. I dislocated my left knee 4 times. I had reconstructive surgery on the ligament in my left knee. I had ACL reconstruction. They took part of my patella tendon, probably a good 5-inch piece of tendon. They sliced out of my left knee. I have a pin in the bone in my lower leg, pin in the bone in my upper leg. So I was on the other side of the surgery and the physical therapy. And they were saying, strengthen the legs, which I did, but I still had swelling in the knee. I had pain and tension in my hips and lower back, difficulty sleeping, difficulty bending the knee, difficulty kneeling. I couldn't do judo, which was my main love at the time. I couldn't do judo like I wanted. And really the only thing I wanted was to get back out on the judo mat and throw people. That's what I love to do. So it set me on a different path in my life. And that was, 21 years ago. No proprioceptive issues. Yeah, it's one of those things that it's important to understand what doctors are really good for. This is not here knocking on doctors or physical therapists. They're very good at what they do, but it's important to understand what they do. They have a box that if something is broken or torn in the knee, they're the people that I want to go to get it fixed. That's what I did. Dr. Ellis, University of Louisville, Louisville Cardinals, uh, he was a sports orthopedic surgeon. He did exactly what he said he was going to do. He was going to repair the ligament that I tore in my left knee. He actually removed the 2 pieces of meniscus that I had torn in my left knee. He sent me the physical therapy. The left leg was within 80% of the strength of the right leg. That's what the medical model is designed to do. On the other side of that, the pure experience of pain, the doctors are not good at. That's why they have pain management clinics. They want to manage the pain because they don't understand the neurology on a deep enough level as to what is causing the source of the pain. They want to numb it with drugs or shots, or they want to cut it out with surgery. Okay, let's see. T Rose Lover, I do everything online. I work with all my clients online. I have products and programs where I work with clients in a members area of my website. And you would say, hey, Bill, my kneecap hurts inside below the knee joint and my hips hurt. And I would give you modules 1, 2, 8, and 40 for your knee. And then I would give you module 23 for your hips. The next time we meet, next time we talk, you're going to give me feedback. You're going to say 1 and 2 worked, 8 I didn't notice a thing, 40 gave me tremendous relief. But now the pain's in my hamstring, or now the pain went down the front of my leg. My hip is still bugging me, but I'm seeing improvements in it. That feedback, that interaction, that dialogue essentially gives me an understanding of how the patterns are moving in your body. Where is the next video module I need to give you to continue that movement? Where do we need to create comfort next? Do we need to have you drink more water? Is your body dehydrated? And that's why the pain isn't staying away. What do we need to do when the pain comes back to give you some supplements or something like that that'll support your body's ability to move through that place of pain faster? It's a process. It's a journey. And you learn a lot about your body in doing so because you realize how this system of pulleys and levers that is the human body is connected, how it works, how water plays a huge role. Or the client that said, Bill, my pain was fine, but after the second cup of coffee, that's when the pain came back. You begin to learn these things and connect these dots. And the only reason you're not connecting those dots at the moment is because of an unawareness of how these things connect. And I want to empower you with the knowledge and understanding of what's going on with your body so you could do it yourself. I don't want you dependent on me. I want to address what's going on here, the level that you're at, and the next time we talk, I want you to evolve. So there's new information in the room. You've discovered something about yourself. You have new tools that you can help yourself with. So the next time the pain comes back, it's different. It's changed. And we increase the awareness and deepen the understanding of what's going on in the body. Okay, how do you repair lost cartilage? And here's a misconception. It isn't about repairing the lost cartilage or the torn ligament or the torn meniscus. It isn't about that. It's about comfort. People come to me because they're in pain. It's important to get your doctor's diagnosis and know what you're dealing with, so we know what we're dealing with. There's people that have lost cartilage that aren't in pain. What's the difference? nerve irritation. I focus on the pain, your experience of something other than pain, the relief that you want to experience in your knee, and movement and mobility so you have full flexion and extension of the joint. That's my goal. You could still go to the doctor. The doctor could still diagnose you with bone on bone, lost cartilage, worn meniscus, whatever that is, whatever that diagnosis is. That's between you and your doctor. My goal is to get you out of pain and have full flexibility and mobility in the joint. And that is a completely different animal. Do I regret the surgery? No, I don't. There is a lot I learned about surgery. This is Mr. Beakers' question. There is a lot I learned about myself as a result of the surgery. I could also feel where from time to time, I step and the knee will slide because the meniscus isn't the same as it was before I tore it, before the meniscus was removed. And I can feel where if I didn't have a ligament there, my knee would pop out again. Remember, I dislocated it 4 times. So, yeah, my learning curve was a little flat. But the point of it is the medical model played a valuable role in the process of my healing. Like I needed it in order to get to where I'm at and understanding how my body moves. Cindy, how do you cut out pain? That's what doctors do. Nerve block didn't work, only worked a few days. Yep. That's what they do. That like when people, it's shocking to me. I guess it shouldn't be shocking because there's so many people still going back and doing it. There's this place where the medical model is about either numbing the pain or cutting it out pain. They do surgery. I spoke with someone from a pain management clinic out of the Charleston, South Carolina area, and I was asking them the process, and they go through their process, and it escalates depending on the level of pain the person is in, and then they'll numb it. They'll give you drugs, prescription drugs, to try to numb the pain, or shots to try to numb the pain. And the idea with that, or the mentality with that, is it gives the neurology a break. The numbing gives the neurology the relief for a short period of time. Like Cindy's saying, it worked for a few days. But here's what it doesn't do is change the pattern that caused the pain to begin with. There's the disconnect. It's like you get into an accident with your car. You go, okay, I'm going to park the car in the garage for a few days, and then I'll take it out and drive it again and see if it's straightened out. You know the car isn't going to be straightened out just because you parked it in a garage for a few days. Same thing happens with the physical body. You have pain, you do something, you have an injury, accident, surgery, trauma, something happens. Do rice therapy, sit on the couch, put your leg up, ice it, rest, ice, compression, elevation. You get off the couch and you start moving again and it hurts. Why? Because the pattern hasn't changed in the neurology. You've just parked it in a garage for a few days. And it's important to understand and look at the body through a different lens. Otherwise, you're going to end up in the same situation. And I know, Cindy, you've been lurking on this YouTube channel for months now, if not years, and you're still coming with the same conversation. It's because you haven't changed the pattern. You continue thinking, going to the conventional medical model and numbing the pain, drugs, shots, surgery, whatever it is, nerve block, it's going to change the pattern, and it's not. There is a bigger comprehensive thing going on in every person's body that's been in significant pain for an extended period of time. And you have to have the courage, and it's courage more than anything else, to begin to look at those things that we're afraid to that need to be addressed. Otherwise, the pain's not going to go away. The pain is there as information. and this is a big shift in working with me or my program, you have to look at pain as information, not as bad. It's flipping the script. Most people go, oh, pain, I don't want to feel it. Let's go get the nerve block or the drug or the shot, whatever it is, so I don't feel the pain, without taking that information in and using it to empower you on how you need to move forward. Okay, but if you have a defect, will you always have pain? Good question. I have a defect in my knee. I got 2 pieces of meniscus that aren't there anymore. I don't have pain. It's difficult to say. It depends on the level of defect. It depends on how much time you have to put into. It depends on how committed you are. Because there's lots of people, it's all about pain. It's not about the defect. Mr. Beakers, you're doing good work. Thank you. You're welcome. How do you change the pattern? Through comfort. Comfort changes the neurological signaling. If you're wondering how to do it, like action steps from here, like, Bill, this is great information. What do I do next? First and foremost, if you just hearing my information for the first time, go to my website, thekneepainguru.com, get on my newsletter list. That's going to help hear my message over and over again, because it's important. We have to change the mentality that you have to hurt to heal. You don't. So that's, if you're hearing this for the first time. If you're already on my list, then this video was sent in an email to you. Go down below this video in the email and sign up for one of my programs. And begin working with it. Begin to change that neurological signaling, to change the pattern of what's going on in the knee, going on in the rest of the body. And it's an extensive process. And if you're already working with one of my programs, because there's a lot of people, it's like, well, who is this guy? He calls himself the knee pain guru, and he's online, and he's not a doctor, he's not a physical therapist, yet whatever he's saying is making sense. So they just want to get an ebook and think they're going to take decades of stuff that's been going on with their knee and get out of pain, or they've had a knee replacement, or they have bone on bone, or whatever the situation is. You need more than an ebook. You have to be realistic about it. And I have programs, coaching programs, both private and group, where I work with clients and I give them the specific videos to begin to work with. They give me the feedback, and I give them things to work with, to tweak and adjust, because it's about distinctions and nuances. Pain shuts the thinking part of the brain off. We get into this very primal aspect of our brain where it's like, I just want to get out of pain. I don't care what it is. So I'll go get the drug or the shot. And we need to, it's important to understand there are distinctions and nuances of getting out of pain. It's like baking a cake. We have to have the right ingredients in the right amounts, in the right order, with the right timing. And I'm here to point out the distinctions and the nuances to guide you out of pain based on your feedback. So it's very much, you have to participate in the process. Okay, we've been going pretty good here. Thank you for all the questions. If you have any more, pop them in there. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up, like and subscribe to my channel, turn on notifications for future videos, as well as share this video with your friends. That limp. Okay. Let's see. Awesome. Well, our next video should be next Monday. And based on the questions that come in, either in the live chat or in the comments that come in after this goes up on YouTube, I use that for future videos. So the more interaction you have, the more comments you leave, the more questions you pose, that helps me understand where we need to go next to help you shift that mindset. Because although it's not all in your head, your positive mindset plays a huge role. You could check out the prices of the program over in the over on the website, in the product section. It has the outline of what you get in the pricing of the program. It's different depending on the level you want to commit to. Okay. Bill Paravano, the knee pain guru, going to sign off for today. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you on the next video.